Hi guys.
Hello people.
I'm Milena.
I'm Lola.
And we're watching Sopranos.
Episode 4.
Yes.
Season 3.
Our last episode was sad.
Horrible.
Do I remember correctly?
Yeah, it was AJ.
AJ's episode, yeah.
I mean, Fortunate Son. It was AJ and it was Chris.
Somehow AJ hit me harder.
Oh no, of course. I mean,
So,
AJ is a
that's
child.
what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, again. What?
I did read a comment. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Which one?
I did read a comment that said that like I read a few comments.
Yeah.
First comment.
This sounds like you're about to.
No. First comment was something along the lines that like they are like that they're very happy.
Okay.
Because like we noticed AJ and most people like disliked him at this time already.
Really?
Why? I don't know. It's a kid. And the second comment, I don't know why I'm mentioning these comments. It's more like mentioning to you than mentioning to them, you know?
Okay.
And the second comment was that like they're very excited because they I think said that like, if I remember correctly, Meadows and AJ's stories are gonna be, is it prominent? What's the word?
Yeah, prominent.
Prominent in this season or something
I
like
love
that. If I remember correctly, because like
that.
the comment was maybe a week old, like when we posted episode 1 or episode 2 or something
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Like
So it wasn't for the
I
previous
don't
episode.
think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Imagine if it was. I'm not sure. But like I read something like that and I was very happy.
I love
like,
that.
Which makes sense. Oh, I think it was the first episode because we did mention in that episode that like we're not happy with how they didn't explain Meadows' decision making.
Yeah.
So like that comment was, if I remember correctly, more about Meadow. That, like we're gonna get understand more her and have more her story in this season.
I mean, again, I love the storyline with the kids. Like that is one of my favorite things about the show.
Hate it. There is a
I just
small
think it's a very
small line between those two.
I think it's a very fascinating storyline to see like how they grew up, because again, Tony and the way that he is directly related to the way that he is grown up, and so like you're just now seeing also the environment in which the kids are growing up and how that's gonna make them, like what's that gonna make them in life. Like there, like I also read a comment, something along the lines of like, it was a longer comment, but like it said something along the lines of like that, like we cannot ignore AJ's choices in matters, you know. And I thought like that made me think, because like yes, you are a person and so like you have certain responsibilities, you know, but like I think when it comes to being a kid, a lot of these things are just gonna be directly related to your environment. And, you know, sometimes a kid can turn out to be not the best person, even if they have like a great home life. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen in their life that can, you know, push them one way or another. But I do think that a significant portion and a significant amount of, let's say, blame I do put on the parents for how the kids are going to turn up. Like again, AJ, after a certain amount of time, same with Tony, he is going to make his own choices and he's going to end up wherever he ends up, and like that is on him, you know. And like I think Tony as well maybe doesn't necessarily think that he should be judged based on the things that he has chosen to do because of what his home environment was, which I don't think is correct. I think he is, again, as an adult, he made his choices and he is directly responsible for them. That doesn't diminish the fact that those choices weren't made like in a vacuum outside of the things that have happened to him in his childhood.
I completely agree with you, and I think that like I think blame is a bit stronger word, because in this case, yes, blame, because like we're talking about such extreme things like who Tony is or who his mother is or like what type of a job they're doing. But like I think in like real life, like in most cases, like your home life, like who your parents are, how they are towards you, how much they talk to you, how much they pay attention to you and what you're doing is the most important thing for where you end up.
Yeah.
And how they raise you and things like that. I don't think everybody should be a parent, even though we did live in a world where you're it was put on everybody basically to be a parent. Like that is the only thing that you have to do, you know?
Yeah.
So like I think that is also a very big problem in real life, how we got to kids who, like, not kids but like adults who didn't have nice childhood, or who did this or who did that, or who became
I mean, I think even Tony said that to Janice in the like the episode where Olivia died, that like he was talking to Malfi about how some, like, I think he specifically said like women are not meant to be mothers, because like they were talking about Olivia, and like,
and I don't think he is meant to be a father.
Absolutely not.
Like
Absolutely
he was not ready to be a father. He's not capable to be a father.
But like I think even in that in that time, especially like when Olivia was a mother, I think like for women, there was not even much of a choice of what else you're gonna be. You know, like that is.
I agree.
Like what, she was born in 1930s. I don't fucking know. Like I don't know when, but like it's expected of you to become a mother, whether you want it or not. Like whether you are gonna be capable or not.
I think even now
it is, but
I mean, especially in Serbia, I don't know how it is in maybe some other countries, but like I think in Serbia it's very much put on people that like that is their only basically purpose in life, you know. It's like they need to reproduce and have children and things like that. And I think that does what.
I'm just remembering my teacher in high school. I was quite literally like, there was the two of us that were top of class for like a class in coding, doesn't matter. It was me and a boy. I had an A, he had a B. Everyone else like had worse grades. She asked us like what we're gonna do after, and like he was like, gonna like continue this basically. She was like, that's so great, like yeah, you should do it. I'm like, yeah, probably the same thing. And she's like, you know, like that requires a lot. Like you can constantly have to be like studying, and you have to like raise a family. Just like, my 18-year-old self was just like, what the fuck? I think I started arguing, if I remember correctly. But like I still like those words still like ring in my ears. Like how is this even
but like
possible?
I think if you were raised differently, you would accept those words as
I mean, again,
I mean?
Thankfully, like that was never my reality. That's why I thought like when she said it, I was like, this woman is fucking insane.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like my dad would have, I think, imagine me coming to my dad saying like, I'm pregnant, I'm not gonna study. Like, are you fucking insane? Yeah, I don't know how we went to this.
We went to that because we talked like how like
some people aren't cut out to be parents.
Yeah, and you blame the parents, and I do blame the parents, especially in this case. I just think the blame is a bit stronger word.
I just like, I don't know what better words to use. Again, there's so many words that like to me sound like it's devoid of empathy.
Exactly.
And it's not devoid of empathy. Like, I just don't know a better word.
It's their first time being a parent. Some people did the best they could, you know?
Yeah, again, I mean, I think both Tony and Carmela love their kids. Like, I really think they love their kids. And like in that capacity, at least for Tony, like let's say he's a better parent than like what his parents were to him. But again, he is letting his kids down in similar and different ways.
And he has no idea that he is doing anything wrong.
And so like again, it's a cycle that keeps on going and going. And so again, what we say, I think 95% of the time is really never devoid of empathy when we say it, if we're rough on something. But okay, we can play.
Let's play the episode.
We can see what happens in this one.
I agree.
People were discussing the lack of the translation on our HBO. I just think like if they start speaking Italian and it's not being translated, I think we should just pause and like switch to Serbian subtitling, because like maybe they're gonna translate it on Serbian. I don't know.
Okay, maybe.
Like I think let's try that, because this makes no sense. Like,
many people said it like maybe we should just try with
like VPN.
VPN, because many people said it like in their country in English they do translate.
Okay, maybe we should work.
Maybe you should, guys, whoever has HBO and they translate it in their country. If they're watching in English, you should tell us what country.
But like if we turn the VPN on and watch from America, then the people that figure out the full reactions, how to sync it up, have to switch. But because like European HBO is
like I think for many people it's easier.
Maybe
to be American. I think many people have hard time with this.
Hello. Tonya, it's me. Don't ever call here again.
I somehow don't think this is the last time she calls.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
How's that going? We start seeing each other again.
Richard.
No, seriously.
You really want to know? He had a real breakthrough last
Interesting.
Yeah, breakthrough what? Somebody's jaw?
week. You're right. I'm wasting my time. Gangster?
Very idea. ABC would even think
Interesting
of
that he
producing
said,
a
like, you take him back and you
stereotypical
take me
group
back.
Yeah.
Like, she's back with him in a relationship. He's also Italian, right?
I'm so fed up with people assuming I'm a thug because my name ends in a vowel. Tell me a little more about this breakthrough then. You yourself said the guy's alexithymic. You said nothing's gonna get through. He's dangerous.
I'm gonna pink slip you if you don't get that chicken in the oven. Did you bring your log?
My log.
About meat
Remember last week?
and panic
You were gonna
attacks.
keep a record. You thought it all about that?
Do people find the time?
To get well?
Look, my mother's dead. I haven't had a panic attack since. I'm sorry I didn't bring the list. I'll bring it next week.
We ought to think about bringing your wife into this.
In here. Carmela.
You're the one who wanted to take a more proactive approach.
That's not
Please.
a feature.
You demanded more of me. Fine. But you're not trying.
Yeah, I know. But shit happens in my daily life that needs attention now. I got some genuine concerns, about my son.
Let's talk about that.
He shies away from anything that requires effort. And I think maybe he picks that up from me. I mean, he's in football now, right? But Carmela's just as guilty about this as I am.
Richard was right. I've been charmed by a sociopath. Why did I reject a good man like Richard in the first place? If you think about my life, it's so textbook. Marry a man 10 years my senior. Of course, Richard's going to be protective and patriarchal. And then I reject him for being exactly that. I know Richard's right. I should get Tony Soprano. Oh, shit.
I always thought it was that other guy in the news. Little Army of Prayer.
I can't believe I revealed his name.
Why did you? You know psychotherapy is limited in the treatment of anxiety disorder. Now, you've medicated Soprano properly. You've helped him gain what insight he's able to absorb. It's time to send him on to a behaviorist.
But it's interesting, like, she should send him... She's ridiculous. Like, she should send him to someone else. Like, that would be better for him. But, like, she's not doing it. Because, like, she doesn't
She's invested.
want to, yeah. I really wonder,
Me too.
like, if there is money buried.
I kind of feel like there is, but
Me
I don't know if
too.
it's gonna be revealed. You know what I mean? I don't know if Janice's gonna find it.
She can have her laid back when she returns Ma's record. And don't say you wouldn't have done the same thing.
I'm getting calls at my house from her cousin.
Miss Petrograd Carburetor Works in 1987.
Don't fuck with me on this, Janice. Get back the leg.
Tony, those records are yours too. They're a window into Ma's soul.
What's
In
so...
fact,
What the fuck are you kidding? You're gonna sell them on the internet.
I have work to do.
Yeah, right. Cleaning up the cellar. Good luck finding the lost Dutchman's gold mine, Janice. You make more money working a real job.
Like the minute I'm out of here, you're not gonna have contractors downstairs tearing apart the walls.
Oh, Janice.
God, the way he looked at her.
You got a girlfriend? You know who's turning into a little meat though? That metal soprano. Look at him perk up.
Imagine.
No.
Please, no.
Speaking of the royal family, I heard you did a stick up with Christopher Mollis.
That would make
I want
sense,
them to fly down to
unfortunately.
South Beach, see friends.
God.
Anyway, this was a good idea she had. Us going out to dinner. Not that I think one conversation ever solved anybody's problems.
I'm only here, so I don't have to hear her bitching and crying.
Mind if I make a stop first?
Is this, like, gonna be a bonding moment? Picking up money?
You gotta pay me a use fee. They're only your roots because you say they are. You want to question a New Jersey business practice that goes back 70 years? Hey, why do you provoke me, huh?
To impress him.
This young buck, he'll fuck your wife until she moans. Fucking what? You began it, huh? Fuck you call me. You bring my wife into this? Huh? Put it down. Huh? Hey, mister, come on. Hey. Get the fucking back. In the bed basket.
I guess they did more bonding than the dinner.
Introduce him to his desk.
And he seems to have known exactly how this is gonna go.
No words, and I'm terrified that Matt is gonna.
I really wonder how Tony would feel about
Tony
this.
Soprano.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, her
I'm a
hair.
mess here with the moving. Come in, I'll get John.
The Guinea welcome wagon. For you, you piece of shit. Carmela's bringing something nice to the housewarming for Ginny.
Who are they?
They call this the great room. I don't see what's so great about it. It's mediocre if you ask me. We got a fucking living room right over there.
I didn't know you were moving to Jersey.
Yeah, Ginny wanted to be near her sisters.
They were sitting with Carmine all night long. You never once mentioned you bought a place in Jersey. Well, why didn't you tell me you were moving here? I gotta find out secondhand.
What the fuck do you care? What are you working in the toll booth now? Besides, they already got the condo in Point Pleasant.
You should have fucking told me.
Tony, I'm telling you now. This is strictly a place for me to live. I got no intention of sticking my beak in. I mean, there's our family, then there's the Soprano family.
Interesting.
Well, don't I get to see the rest of this shithole?
So what, is he like a part of another mob family?
Yeah, that's how it seems.
Okay, Tony thinks he's gonna start doing business
Yeah,
in New
this
Jersey.
could be a problem
in his
for
turf.
him. Yeah.
I'm gonna assume it is gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Why would you take Jackie's kid or something like that?
Somebody's got to show her how the real world works.
That's some news you're not gonna like. I'm putting a friend in over there. It's Captain.
Fucking Gigi, are you shitting me?
I'm sorry.
This bullshit with the Arab. So I went over the top, but I'll take care of it on a people level.
You know this isn't the first thing.
Jesus Christ, Tom. I did at your house.
This is business.
Since we last met, I've been thinking about your course of therapy.
You're the doctor.
I think you're ready to move on to behavior modification therapy.
What's that mean? Talk to somebody else? Just because of what happened last time? Look, I'm sorry, but like you said, it's hard to think about that stuff. You know, you're fucking unbelievable. I asked you to get serious in here. And when it gets hard, you point me off on somebody else.
I'm just introducing the idea. Something for you to think about. I'm going to bring in some things for you to read about behavior modification therapy. Yes, we talked about behavior mod, but, well, maybe you could. Listen, I told you I would discharge him, and I will
What?
in my own good
Who's
time.
that?
What the hell?
Literally, was about to get kidnapped.
That's how it seems.
Ah?
Shut up. Don't turn around. I said shut up. I got a knife. Cut you, bitch.
She was here.
Shut up.
What's happening?
I'll give you all my money. No, come on.
You just need a few more slots.
For God's sake, Jack.
What the fuck?
I broke my leg, but it's just really bad. It's buried. Did they tell you that they caught him?
Thank God.
We apprehended somebody with a description out of Popeye's chicken. Of course, the jerk is denying it, but he had her palm pipe. Says he found it on the street.
Son of a bitch. Who is he?
Jesus Rossi.
Rossi. Rossi. It's an Italian name.
Am I missing something here?
What
The girl
the
said he
fuck?
was Puerto Rican. That's all.
I just want to take a shower, okay?
We'll be done here soon.
Mom.
Jeez.
Jesus, Mom.
Oh, this is.
What did these Nazi fuckers do?
It's okay, I'm gonna be alright.
I can't believe this shit. I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers.
Fuck it, Dad! You know, the whole world is a fucking source. Nothing but a fucking source. It's a bunch of animals out there running wild. And they're fucking winning.
Caught the man that did it. It's okay.
Yeah, I want 5 minutes with that asshole. Jason, this isn't helping.
It's
Honestly,
just
I'm
like,
so
this is.
shocked.
I'm not even sure.
Hello? Hello, may I speak to Anthony Soprano, please?
He's not available to the phone right now. Who may I tell him is calling?
This is Jennifer Melfi. Is this Mrs. Soprano?
Yes, it is, Dr. Melfi. How are you?
Actually, that's why I'm calling. I need to cancel Tuesday's appointment.
You'll be so disappointed. Nothing serious, I hope.
A little car accident, but I'm fine.
Oh my God. You weren't hurt, I hope.
Well, my knee got the worst of it, but I'll be up and about in a couple of days.
You stay off of it and take care.
Who ate the last piece of cake? Tell him what?
It's your therapist.
Why don't you just announce it on WFAN? Go find some dust.
She was in a car accident. She has to cancel your next appointment.
She all right?
She said she was okay. She hurt her knee.
Her knee? Really? What happened?
I don't know. She didn't say.
Oh, she don't need stitches. Stitches on the knee, never heal right. They leave a very bad scar. Yeah.
Stop speaking.
You get arthritis for the rest of your life. Last time, she mentioned that maybe you would come into my therapy, give you a perspective on the panic attacks and kind of a home life, whatever.
Sure.
God, what is this episode?
I just like I'm trying to figure out what this is gonna do
No, not yet.
like for her and like her relationship with Tony, who's like a very violent and dangerous man, but like can make you, I guess, safe. I don't even know mentally how you go through being raped. I don't know.
I can't even get that far
Wait
of
here.
in the story, honestly.
Hello, hi, Detective Pearsall. Oh, I'm calling for Jennifer Melfi. The rape.
What's going on?
Well, why? I mean, that's absurd. That's ridiculous.
Richard, what happened?
I don't fucking care if you're sorry.
Richard.
Fine, you do that. You people haven't heard the end of this. I'm contacting my attorney.
If Tony deals with it.
What happened?
They mishandled the chain of custody, so they had to let him go.
What chain of custody? They let him go?
How can that even happen? I don't understand. What did they do?
Yeah. What am I gonna do?
Well, you're going to have someone escort you to your car at night.
What's that supposed to mean?
That's what the rape councilwoman told me. Deserted parking garages were a huge percentage of these attacks happening.
You think this is my fault? You blame me for what happened, don't you?
How many times did I tell you to call the security guard when you left work late?
It wasn't late.
This isn't doing any good, Jen.
If I hadn't have been on the phone with you, maybe I would have seen that guy in the stairwell. You and your fucking heart on about my patient.
So it's my fault.
You should have seen your face when you heard that fucking shitbag that raped me had an Italian name.
You were the one who told the police he was a Puerto Rican.
What difference does it make? Are you so ashamed of your background that any misdeed by an Italian somehow damages your self-esteem?
This is so miserable.
God.
This is just not at all worth it.
I honestly don't know. I'm so shocked.
Yeah, Ginny Sack told Gabriella she needed a bigger house. Ginny Sacramone. What she needs is her own zip code.
Jersey's a small state. She moves in. She can tip it over. I like a woman you can grab onto something.
You grab onto Ginny Sacramone, your fucking hands will disappear. She's so fat, her blood type is ragu. She's so fat she goes gambling.
God.
The bands have to
Shut
hide
up.
their fool. But Ginny owes ass. Fuck who? What? What's so funny? Nothing. We're just talking about one of the girls. Welcome
It's
to the
worse
God's
like
Sake,
listening to these jokes after what just happened. Like
you'll keep up with John
it makes
and
it worse.
God. What an episode.
I'm just so frustrated.
We both are.
I just want to go find that bastard and kill him with these hands, Jen. And I could. And I would. But I can't. They put me in jail. That's how messed up things are.
Yeah.
And the switch between him and Tony with the fucking axe.
So now you know how it feels.
T, I know why I'm here, and I apologize. I won't let it happen again.
Oh, I keep forgetting they have this.
Watch out for Jackie Jr. I specifically said, don't let the kid get involved in this thing.
Let me tell you something, T. He was an asset. Just on the car seats, but he handled himself very good. No cowboy shit, nothing.
Are you listening to me? I don't want him mixed up in this shit. I promised his old man.
But it's all right for me.
I didn't say that.
What else did you say? That the life's good enough for me, but not for little Lord Fuckpants?
He's not like you. Like us. Kids today, they're bored, they're spoiled. Come here. I love you. You're a good boy.
God. God.
I don't even know.
Hi.
God, he's not
What's
taking
your
care
other guy
of it.
look like?
This is about to be so much more complicated.
Last time we met, we talked about getting you into some behavioral therapy. I wrote a couple of things for you to look at.
It's okay, it's just your,
It's okay.
Maybe you came back to work too soon.
It's better for me to be busy. And I appreciate your concern.
See, that's what's wrong with the world, right there. An innocent person is driving along, minding their own business, and some fucking asshole comes out and smashes into them.
You can't control everything that happens.
But you can't get pissed off.
And then what? Lose control?
Who said anything about that? You direct your anger where it belongs.
You have panic attacks. Panic occurs when feelings of anger, revenge, whatever overwhelm you. Behavioral therapy comes in. It can teach you to control those triggers.
It's also okay to get really mad, girl.
Tell your mother it's hers anytime she wants it. How was your cousin's shower?
It sounded like a bunch of screaming.
Is Meadow coming? Okay.
Jackie?
God, he's gonna lose his mind.
I'm waiting for you.
What, I don't get a hello?
I need $200 for November to put on the baby camp. African Americans go to Columbia, Dad. Some of them are my friends.
Friend my ass under a blanket on my couch watching television with his shoes off with you.
Nana, when did you get here? What? Side?
Somehow they didn't think about to hear like Britney Spears and The Sopranos. I don't know. Is that him? I don't know.
Rossi.
Like he had red hat.
Oh no, it's just the name Rossi, Italian name.
Oh, I don't know.
I cannot duality in this episode. I don't know how to explain that.
You cannot?
Duality in this episode.
Oh, I
like,
know.
scenes we see and then scenes that they come are like this, and I.
It's really.
What the fuck is. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Svetlana did say she's gonna like rue the day she messed with me or something.
Don't push me to edge. Depend on yourself.
Motherfucker, do you know who I am? Do you know who my brother is?
What did you say?
Motherfucker! For the record, you're all I've had to remember my mother by. What could it possibly mean to her? Are you people really so callous?
Fuck you. You are callous.
God.
So the dog is Tony.
I felt such a sense of relief. I felt safe for the first time since it happened.
Empowered.
I thought he was after me.
The door said danger.
Actually, no. It said high voltage. Call NJGE before digging. Jersey Gas and Electric.
Was Richard anywhere in all this?
Oh my God. The dog.
What?
A Rottweiler, Elliot. Big head, massive shoulders. Direct descendant of the dog used by the Roman armies to guard their camps. Who do I dig with and who's dangerous? Who could I sick on that son of a bitch to tear him to shreds? No feeling has ever been so sweet as to see that pig beg and plead and scream for his life. Because the justice system is fucked up, Elliot. Richard's got his attorney looking into this at $300 an hour. But meanwhile, that employee of the month cocksucker is back on the street. And who's gonna stop him? You?
Civilization.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to break the social compact. But that's not saying there's not a certain satisfaction in knowing that I could have that asshole squashed like a pug if I wanted.
What happened?
God.
What did I tell you? I told you not to mess with those people.
I was supposed to be married at this point in my life.
This is all I fucking need. Thanks, Janice.
Huh?
What do you mean, what? They slapped my sister around. Well, I have to get payback. You never do anything to simplify my life.
I stole a woman's prosthetic leg, Tony. When did I get like this?
You really want to know?
When Richie died. I think there's only one trajectory for me. God
You see what I mean?
Because I feel born again in the Lord. And I pray to God. And I asked him to forgive Svetlana for what she's done. I give myself up utterly and totally to God.
What do you think a place like this set John back? Who gives a shit?
Okay, landscape alone's gotta be 100, 150 G's. To keep up this lawn. Property taxes, and you gotta pay those.
They use the money to fix that goddamn air traffic control.
Fighting terrorism, that's what we should do.
How about that fucking stampede in Zimbabwe? Well, you're not using the cane anymore. Been, making my list. And I've been thinking about your behavior therapy idea. Maybe you got a point. You know, I could use some help with a few things, and if they can help me there, you know, I should go there.
No.
You sure about that? Because the last couple of times I've been getting the distinct feeling that you give me the boot. What's the matter? Hey, come on. What are you doing? Come on, huh? Hey. Come on. What are you doing? What's the matter? What's the matter?
Seriously, I'll do this. Go. It's okay, go on.
What? You want to say something?
No.
God.
What is this season? I know it's been 4 episodes, but like, what is this?
I don't know, this episode was very hard for me, honestly. I mean, let's be honest, this episode was very, very good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
I think that this season they just decided to be like, this is a heavy show.
Yeah.
They just decided to, I don't know, do it like this, where I like, fun's over. I mean, it was never fun, you know, but just like, I think every episode somehow now is very difficult, like emotionally very difficult, but like I think all 4 episodes have been incredibly good in their own way.
I mean, first episode was not that emotionally difficult.
No, first episode was great. First episode was so fun. First
come
episode
back.
was like
first episode, come back.
It was so nice. And then like after that, every episode like kind of in their own way was very heavy.
Yeah, in their own
and
way,
this
completely
was
different ways. I honestly feel like I wasn't prepared for this episode. I came here a bit sick. Very, very, very tired because I am a bit sick. And
she literally fell asleep for like 15 minutes before this review.
Before this review, to prepare myself for the review, you know?
Yeah.
So
and like whatever review that you have to give.
Yeah, exactly.
Being sick.
I honestly, even before starting the episode, I think I said like, I hope this episode is going to be like...
chill.
Easy, yeah. And we got something like, in my opinion, one of the
worst,
hardest topics to watch, hardest scenes to watch, hardest topics to talk about. Very important, of course. So yeah.
So fun.
Very fun.
I know. I don't know. Like I think I hate. There's truly nothing I hate more in watching anything than like seeing scenes of rape being depicted. I think like 9 times out of 10 it's unnecessary. It can put me off from like a show when I think there is such tremendous depiction of sexual violence. Like I think that's one of the things that like I disliked in like Game of Thrones, just because like there was so much of it and and there was like not necessarily much purpose to it than just like being horrific and awful. And I think you can definitely talk about sexual violence without depicting it in such a way where it can be like torture porn, basically.
I mean, I think I agree with that. I think for that, with even other versions of violence.
Yeah.
But like
absolutely.
The sexual one is the worst for me.
Yeah.
To watch is the hardest for me to watch, and I usually I mean, and it's like I cannot.
No,
It
like
usually
I
puts
always
me
turn
off,
my
honestly.
eyes out. Like I can't watch it. I don't think this was the case here. Like based on what they wanted to do in this episode, it was not even like I didn't watch it. When it started happening, I think we both averted our eyes immediately. But like the screaming, the like guttural screaming was like when I rewatch the show, I'm gonna skip this. Like I don't need to watch it again. I don't need to hear it again. Like I just find those scenes very difficult to watch, and I don't like.
I don't love watching that.
No, I don't like putting myself through that again.
Honestly, I completely agree. And that's what I want to say. Like, yes, this episode is the episode that I honestly, personally didn't enjoy at all. Like, didn't enjoy at all watching it. Was it a good episode? Was it a good story? Did I like the ending of the episode? Yes, very much. It's just that like I had no pleasure in watching this episode and going through these stories with through this tragic with her, you know.
Like I do think, again, having seen the whole episode and what it wanted to discuss, I can understand why they put such a graphic scene.
Horrific scene,
such a graphic scene in the show, because like it puts the viewer in the mental space where Melfi is coming from, and it puts you immediately in that anger and rage, you know, from having witnessed that to feeling what she is feeling, so that you would like be inclined to also let's say want her to get revenge, like want her to tell Tony, like want to have Tony hurt that man. It worked well for the general message of what they went through in this episode. I think, I mean, in the show in general. So like that's why I didn't mind it, even though like I don't hate it. It's horrific. I don't need to see it ever again. Yeah, I think again like it was a really good showing of the trauma that comes with that, and like how difficult it was for Melfi, like the PTSD, how like she was not feeling safe, and again that anger that she feels that she is trying to, let's say, not feel. Like in the scene with Tony, like when he was talking about how like someone can just come and ram into you, like he was talking about with the car accident, because like that's what he thought happened to her, and like how people should get angry and like should, you know, let's say in a way seek revenge, and like she was basically saying that there is no point in letting your emotions get the better of you, because like what are you gonna accomplish with that? But like in saying that, like you can see that she wants to get angry, like that she is like the only reason why she is not is because like she knows it is not, let's say, the morally correct thing for her to do. And like this puts you in a very difficult let's say moral dilemma. Like I think that's where the show wanted to place the viewers at.
I also like in that scene, I mean, I at least how I got that moment is that like she was still in that moment trying to be his therapist and talk to him about this therapy that he needs, because he does react aggressively. He is the one who is always angry and things like that. She's trying to teach him, and inside of herself, she is dealing with similar things right now, where something horrific has happened to her, and she's very angry and does want that revenge, but also doesn't want it at the same time, doesn't want to do and cross that line at the same time. I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting to me.
I think again it touches upon what I think is kind of constant theme throughout the show, because like Melfi could have gone down a different road, because like her anger was very justified and the law failed her. I don't even understand like what the police messed up in this. Like, did they not like
It
read
really
him,
doesn't
like
matter,
read him
in my
his Miranda right? Like, I have no fucking clue what they did, but like they did something and the law failed her. Like, she did everything right. You know?
As does to many other women. So like they didn't even try to explain what has happened and how the laws has failed her. It's just like something that occurs every single day to many, many women.
Yeah, like I think the amount of like rape and just like in general sexual violence that occurs to women and men rarely gets prosecuted. And so like like you said, it doesn't even technically matter what they messed up, but like this is a reality for so many
like
women.
literally they didn't even say it, you know, like the show didn't make any
yeah.
deal about it, you know, just because like it's not something uncommon. It happens for so many other reasons.
Yeah. And so like I think it would, like, her rage and her want for revenge would be like perfectly understandable and justified, let's say. Like, this awful thing happened to you and it would like, let's say, make sense that you would want to maybe cross some moral lines and go down a different road. It almost seems, let's say, in a way expected, because like I think so many viewers were watching this and wanting her to tell Tony, like wanting Tony to hurt that monster. And so I think what it in my mind connects to again is like sort of, let's say, Tony as a character who has gone through what he has gone through in life and like ended up being the person that he ended up being. He like chose the path that Melfi didn't choose. Like she chose to not cross over her moral boundaries, like however much she wanted to, even though like she had a justified reason, let's say, to like go down that road. And like Tony, let's say, has a justified reason for becoming who he has become, if you want to talk about it like that, because of who his parents were and how they treated him. And he went down that road, which is not a road that he had to go down, because like here you have Melfi who didn't choose to go down that road.
Even something very traumatic has happened to her, and like it would make sense for her to go down. I also think she made this choice for her moral reasons, but also professional ones as well, because she is a therapist to Tony, and their relationship would drastically change if she were to do something like that. She took pleasure in realizing that she could if she would want to crush this man and like kill him, basically. So like she did manage to take pleasure in something like that, and not at the same time decide to go down that path. That is something that like I really, really loved. I didn't want for her to cross to that side,
and I really wasn't certain like the way that how this was going in this episode. Like, it was kind of obvious of like where they're trying to like push you towards, because like Tony is a dangerous man. Like, she was talking about like how she chose Richard, and like that you know, he's older and like, let's say, makes her feel safe or whatever, and like Tony has that aura about him. He's like this dangerous man, and so like it was immediately clear where you were supposed to, like, in what lines you were supposed to think. And so like I really wasn't certain what type of a storyline we were about to get with this,
because through the entire episode you mentioned a few times now like about Tony and how this is affect her relationship with Tony, and like I honestly at that point couldn't even think, because I was really surprised and taken back by that again. I feel like I came here unprepared.
You're like, I'm sick. I hope this is like maybe Chris's.
So when something like that happened, I was so shocked that like I couldn't even think where this potentially could go. So when you mentioned it, you know I wasn't happy about that, and I don't think at that moment I knew why I wasn't happy about that. It's just that like I wouldn't have. Now I realize that like I wouldn't have want their relationship to change, but like because something this traumatic you know. I don't know how to explain that. I wouldn't want this to be about Tony at all. Something that happened to him, you know, to her. This traumatic like that story wise, the point of it all has to do with Tony.
Yeah.
I'm happy that at the end she managed to make this decision, even though I think it's a very hard decision to make. And it's about her morality, it's about her professionalism, let's say, or whatever, and not about Tony, if you know what I mean. Like, it didn't end up being about that. It didn't end up being about how her and Tony's relationship changed because of something so traumatic happening to her.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
that's something that, like, I didn't want to happen
yeah.
when I thought about it in that moment.
I love that, like, the episode ended so, like, it took me off guard when it happened, and like how powerful it was that, like, in the moment he's like asking her, do you have anything to say? And like you're just waiting and seeing, is she gonna do it, or is she gonna not, like, what is she gonna do? And she just, like, it's a resounding no, and the episode just, like, cuts. I like, they were like, I'm really gonna think about that for a while. Like, it was such, I don't know, I thought it was such, there was so much strength in that for me. That, like, she went through something so horrific. Yeah. And again, I would not have judged her for a second had she, like, decided to, let's say, cross that moral line and wanted to,
I mean, I completely agree,
have him, like, hurt. Like, I would sit here and fucking shut up.
Yeah,
you know?
I completely agree. Just like about being a human.
Yeah.
You know, like, you never know how you would react if something very traumatic happened to you. You know, it's like it is natural instinct, in my opinion, to react full of rage, you know. But like in that moment when she heard that Tony is thinking about leaving her, you know, like she got so scared because she did take again pleasure in feeling safe because she had him, so she would be able to crush that man, you know.
And like that was a part of her, let's say, regaining some power that you feel like you lose when something like that happens. Like that's why rape is so, it's like is so vile, because like it's much different than someone like beating you up. Like there's so, I don't know, like I can't even imagine.
I mean, I think they're both very horrific acts.
Yeah.
That I don't want wish to anybody, you know?
No. But like there is such, like you feel such a lack of power in that. And so like having Tony, someone like that is that strong, close to you, it makes you feel more powerful and more safe. And again, like does this further blur the lines of her being a good therapist for him? Absolutely, because like she, like the correct steps, as they say, because like I don't fucking know, but like they say that he should go to a behavioral something, cognitive behavioral, I don't know what they said, like he should move on and he should go to someone else, and so like immediately he was first arguing that, but like at the end when he was like, okay, maybe I should, and she stopped him, like that's bad in terms of like Tony and the professionalism and like the blurred lines in what they are to each other. So like in that sense, it's not the best situation that we ended up in, you know. Still, I do still think it's better than her unleashing Tony.
I mean, I completely
on the
agree.
guy.
I completely agree.
In that way, she's also failing a patient, which is very bad. And again, understandable where she is now coming from, considering she went through something very, very traumatic. And again, it is still not responsible towards her patient. That like she now, in a way, depends on him for that security. I don't know how you like. She needs to talk to her therapist about this. You know, again, to like.
She is talking.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see those sessions now again after what has happened, because she stopped now Tony from moving on from her and going to a like different type of psychologist, basically.
I mean, I really don't know what is gonna happen in the future.
Yeah.
But I do believe that like her deciding not to tell him and not to blur those lines further is a good step. I know that she did stop him in that moment, but like that was just the impulse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you saw in her face like she was
because like in my
scared.
opinion, that's what I would say, because in my opinion, when she calmed herself for a second, is the moment when we see that she decides to actually not cross that line and try to be to remain as professional as she can.
Yeah, but like she's still not gonna send him to a behavioral therapist. I mean, maybe she will, but like I didn't. That was not the impression that I was left with.
Okay.
You know, so like
because I didn't got the impression, because to me, when she said no, she reacted by impulse, and when later she decided, she gave herself time. She didn't tell him what she could have told him and what would change everything. So now I feel like she is gonna be able to, because like again with the work that she can do, because if she would to told him in that moment, she would also tell him in an impulse, you know, in a moment where she feels so scared and angry, she would tell him because she was scared because she's gonna leave her. Yeah, like her safe space is gonna leave her. Yeah, but she didn't tell him. She was able to stop herself, you know, and stop the impulse. Yeah. So I think now when she continues and talks to if she stopped in this moment, I think later she's gonna be able to think rationally
and send him
at some point. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, maybe not tomorrow.
I mean, I really wonder where that's gonna
because
go.
Like maybe he's not gonna also be ready tomorrow. Because, you know, like you never.
Yeah.
Like I don't know exactly where their story is gonna lead. You know, like
I really don't know either.
When they're gonna.
The thing is, I can't imagine Tony like speaking to anyone else. So like, I think we're gonna have to go until the end of the show. You know.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure about the end of the show. I can see, because like again, we are he's being treated in therapy, but I don't know where exactly the show will go for Tony's.
I mean, now they mentioned bringing in Carmela, which like that would be so fascinating to me.
Yeah,
to see the two of them with Melfi discussing things. Like I would kill for that.
Yeah,
and like I think they're gonna introduce that, which I think is gonna be very
that
interesting.
Can be something that can change.
Yeah,
a bit course of it. Again, the way I see this therapy ending is Melfi taking a step back.
Yeah,
honestly, at some point.
Yeah.
When is that gonna happen? I somehow don't see that going until season 6, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You know, just because like I feel like Tony's character is gonna go like this. You know,
me too.
So like maybe it's gonna even be worse when he stops with the therapy. You know,
maybe like it happens before the last season. So like we just see the complete downfall after that. I don't know. I mean, things
because he does talk about very important subjects like his son and his daughter and things like that to therapy, and like therapy could help him with stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna be helped.
There's that. Karina, I just want to like briefly touch upon her partner, Richard.
Oh, okay.
And like his reaction to everything. Like first him even like in the scene that it happened, like them saying the name of the guy who raped her. And he in that moment, like still being in the mindset of being like, oh, Italian or whatever. Like it's just like really like this is where you go to. And I think he had like many scenes where I think this would it at least feels like this would be a common thing, a common comment that someone is gonna make. Like that doesn't necessarily have to be coming from a not well-meaning place, but like sometimes I think when you are angry about what happened to someone that you love, you don't maybe know exactly how to approach that well, because like when he was like saying that she shouldn't have been walking alone, or she shouldn't have been doing like anything that puts any sort of responsibility on her. She was literally walking to her car, like she was going to a fucking garage, you know, like that guy would have appeared regardless. Like there was really nothing that she could have done that was gonna save her. I mean, like, sure, you can live your fucking life like never being alone and like never wearing headphones and like never, but like that's not living life. And so like his comments really just, I mean, rubbed me the wrong way throughout this entire episode. He just seems a very insecure person in general, because like he looks at himself through the lens of like other Italians and what they are doing. Like, I don't know why he so heavily concentrates on that and like how that makes him appear. He seems more preoccupied with that than anyone else, like I'm sure in his circle. I don't know, he's just a specific type of character.
Yeah, and I think the show wanted to point that out, everything about his character. Like I honestly think it was I don't know what word I want to use, like let's say interesting, I have no idea.
Ignorant?
No, but like seeing again how partner can react of a person who has gone through something like this, and how like whenever something like this occurs, like relationships can be tested, or
can fall apart even.
Of course, because of things that happen and people don't know how to be there for each other, let's say, be what the other needs, and things like that. So like I'm gonna say interesting, but like I was, let's say, wondering how the guy is gonna react, and like is it gonna be, but like again in that moment I didn't even know what is gonna be the point, if like it's gonna be a point that she, because like they did talk about what he would do, and he was like, I would kill him, but you know, I would go to jail. And at the same time we have, you know, like I wasn't sure what exactly the point is gonna be, because like at the same time the camera cuts to Tony, who would not go to jail and who would in fact kill that man, because he did something to hurt her deeply, you know. But I agree with everything that you said.
I also
even though I do believe that like sometimes comments like that can come because the partner is scared, the partner is
I mean that's what I meant when I said like it doesn't necessarily always come from a place of like ill intentions or whatever, just like sometimes you feel helpless. I
don't think I can say like you exactly, I wouldn't say that like he was blaming her for that happening, but like was saying that like she should have been more careful, because things, even though you can't predict if somebody is gonna do something so horrible to you, you know.
I also thought it was like interesting that in this episode we had like comments again, because like it puts you in a mind space like this Melfi was just raped, and so like it puts you like immediately in that headspace, and then you hear like all the Tony's crew like standing in a circle, they're commenting on, I want to say like Gina, maybe, I don't know what her name is, whatever, but like commenting something like about her looks and saying things that are, let's say, sexual in nature, you know. Like I don't think that was necessarily a coincidence, even though like they would make that like these types of comments in any episode, you know. Like oftentimes we also have like the scene cuts immediately to the is it a striptease parlor? I don't fucking know what it is. I just like think those small ththings work so well together, like when you speak about women in that manner, like when you have a group of guys speaking about a woman in that manner and sort of in a degrading manner. Like I think that festers such a horrible environment then that in turn like creates men that treat women so horribly and potentially eventually also end up raping them or doing anything horrible to them. Like that environment just simply festers. And so like I don't think that was like a oh, they're just making their usual jokes that they make. Like,
yeah, I don't know if because we saw what we saw a second before, maybe that's the reason why it felt even worse watching that scene, because like I literally couldn't look at them. You know,
because like I think like if this happened in the previous episode, like, I mean, we would just roll our eyes. Like this sounds like something you say every episode. Like it doesn't sound like anything
I
different.
agree, but like to me it sounded completely different. But like maybe it like completely like it was so much of it.
Yeah.
But like
they would like it was persistent.
Yeah, so maybe again it was the feel.
It feels maybe
that's why I felt like it was horrible, and even like more than ever, just because we just watched the scene that we watched a second ago.
I don't know.
I definitely didn't feel like a usual dumb fucking comment. You know?
Yeah, but again, like just because of how the whole episode was structured. So like I definitely don't think that was like
not intentional.
Yeah, I think it was an intentional choice.
We also had a lot of Janice in this episode.
She found God. I just like she's so what a peculiar character. Like I don't know. I can't, like, when I think about her I want to laugh. Like really I want to laugh. I don't know. She's such an interesting character to me.
I don't know, in this episode I think again because I just watched what I watched, everything else pissed me off. I don't know how to explain that. Like I didn't find her funny in this episode. I found her annoying. You know?
I understand that. I mean, I don't think I have anything to add to like Janice's storyline in this episode. You know, it was she returned the leg, she got beaten up in the process.
Yeah, but then like later when she was like, "Oh my God, what they did to me," you know?
Yeah, but then she was like, "How did I come to this place where I like took a leg?" Like it seems like a moment of like self-reflection, but like it seems like full shit. You know, like I don't know. Like I don't know what that was even supposed to be. Her character is an enigma, and at no point, like I cannot sit here with any confidence and tell you about any of her scenes and like what they mean, because I'm still trying to figure out like what we're doing with her character and where we're gonna go with her character. You know, like where it's gonna head.
I feel like she's not enigma at all. Like, I feel like in every moment, like, I know what she's gonna do. Like, in that moment, I knew she was gonna say the things like, I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth.
No, she's not an enigma in that sense. Like, an enigma in the sense of, like everything that she is doing. Like, where does it come from? Like, is she just a sociopath? You know? Does she harbor so much resentment towards Olivia that like she wants to get these records back and sell them? Like sure, she's gonna earn money, but like is that to get back at her mother in a way, like selling these things that she had or collected, you know, like an enigma in those terms, like how affected she feels by her childhood, like what she wants to achieve now that she is here. Like does she want to, again, like she's calling herself soprano again and everything, like what does she want to achieve now that she is here? Like in that sense I have no idea where we're gonna go with her, you know. But everything else, like what she does, I'm never surprised. Never surprised.
Makes so much sense to me. She's again a perfect manipulator, even though it does not work always. Her you can see that her brother knows her, you know.
That's ridiculous.
Recognized what she is doing, recognize immediately that she is looking for the money, you know, and things like that.
Yeah.
So nothing shocking there.
No, there was no new revelation in this episode.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
I would say she's a fun character.
Yeah, I really enjoy her so far. And another thing, like that, I think they're establishing, let's say, a problem for like the future or whatever. This Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny.
All right. Who came
I
here
two problems.
Like I think is he the one from New York, I want to say. And so like he is, if I'm gathering this correctly, from a different type of like mob family, and now that he is here in New Jersey, he can potentially want to take over some of the Soprano business,
maybe even all.
Yeah, so like it's, and like he just doesn't move just because he moved, you know what I mean? So like this is definitely about to be a problem. And there was a way that Tony was like looking at him when he was speaking to Ralphie. Is it Ralphie? Maybe. That to me definitely foreshadows some things that are gonna happen there, you know, because like he seems like they were commenting about like how big his house is and how expensive it is, so like he is very well off, you know, like seems better well off than Tony, so like he would seem like a threat. And so we're gonna delve deeper into that storyline, I'm sure, throughout the season. And
maybe
like see what happens with that. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I definitely think so. Like, I mean, the whole episode was full of those moments. Like even Carmela coming into his house and being in awe how big it is, you know, and him diminishing, talking about, I already have a living room. Why do I need this big room? Like, what's so special about this room? And the room is enormous, you know, like with windows.
But didn't Johnny say that?
Yeah, Johnny.
Oh yeah. He's like, I don't need this huge.
But like he has it.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one who bought it. Yeah. So in my opinion, all those comments shows you that like he is very, very well off. Yeah. And Tony is already I'm gonna say scared, but like suspicious about it. And I like the way how the story is slowly being introduced. And you know, like it's not like, let's say Richie, he's coming and oh my god, the problem is happening. He is running over the guy.
Richie was not a subtle.
Exactly. So that just makes me think that like this is gonna be a much bigger problem, because how slowly it is introduced and how he can work slowly behind like without Tony knowing about some things, you know.
Like if he comes from like New York, like that's bigger than New Jersey, you know. If he runs and that,
maybe he wants to come here. It seems like he wanted to come here to spread his business, let's say, you know. And Soprano family seemed to him at least like something he could deal with, let's say.
Maybe,
which is again interesting, because Soprano family is one of the most feared, let's say, ones. Like Tony is one of the most feared people here. And he's one person that police is investigating right now the most.
And I wonder if the guy, what is his name, Ralphie, I think, maybe the new guy, just because we see him speaking to Johnny, and like he was now demoted, like I was wondering if maybe he's gonna switch sides.
Very possible.
You know, because like Tony was watching them while they were talking, you know, like maybe that can be like, he can be like working for Tony but like giving maybe information to Johnny or something like that.
You know, I completely agree. I think I think that as well. But like I do believe that like also at some point police could be involved in all of this.
I mean,
just because they're looking for Tony, and this is gonna be a big problem that we're not gonna know how to solve. You know what I mean? So like,
I don't know, like there's a lot of things they actually like
introduced. Love
and like you cannot do that while giving me this like storyline with Melfi, because like my mind is just on Melfi, like, and everything else that was coming in, I was like half hearing it, you know, because like my head was,
I couldn't enjoy some again Genesis scenes, for instance, you know, or like Tony's dumb comments, like let's say when the Carmela said something about therapists, and he's like, "Oh, announce it to the world, go find some dust." You know?
Something on the radio.
Something like that. I don't know. He always has those moments that he thinks in the moment, let's say, you know.
Like, the Sopranos are an incredibly comedic show. It's just like sometimes the comedy comes when you're reeling over like something horrible. Like I cannot even like there's so many like, and I was editing the episode where Olivia died, where like I really took that episode hard. Like I was crying half the episode, and so like while I was editing, I could laugh at the funny bits, and there were so many funny moments and comments in that episode, but I was so exhausted while watching it. It's like it's a very
Chris. I remember Chris being
he was so funny. He was so funny. I died laughing while I was editing that. But like in the moment, I can't fucking laugh.
I agree.
Because things that are happening simultaneously are nothing to laugh about. So like, what do I do with that?
So
okay,
yeah,
guys.
I think this was enough. Thank you so much for watching.
See you soon.
We'll see you soon. Bye.